These
Where
are
are we?
lovely flowers.
Yeah, aren't they nice flowers?
Really
Look at that.
beautiful.
They're real. Those are real flowers.
These are really, really beautiful.
Yeah. After Fleabag, I think the name, I noticed at university departments there's a real trend, I think. I mean, obviously improv has been around for a long, long time, but there seems to be this real trend to now start thinking about it in a much more serious way. And, you know, people are learning the names of the heavy hitters in improv. Mm-hmm. Thinking of improv, I think, not sort of as training for an actor, but actually just its own sort of art. So,
yeah.
You know, how do you see that trend continuing, and who really influenced you, you know, in Chicago or in New York?
Honestly, since I've graduated from college, I've basically been working to spread that message, frankly. I graduated and started a theater, and I taught and directed a lot of improv in Chicago and in New York, and I studied with this guy, Del Close, who, if you get a chance, Google him. But he's really one of the more famous guys in comedy that a lot of people don't know, and he started the committee, which was a group with Elaine May and Mike Nichols, and he was the guy that named SCTV. He was the guy that taught Gilda and Bill Murray and Belushi and all those guys took from him. He was this crazy genius, and he was one of the first guys that reminded or instilled in me this idea that improv was not a means to an end, but an end itself. And I mean, today, even Arrested Development is a good example, although Arrested Development was not improvised, it was a tightly scripted show with handsome actors.
Yeah.
But, even, you know, single camera shows that are happening right now, there's this whole trend right now of, like, there being this loose, improvisation is finding its way everywhere. So even in the films and television stuff that I've done, I've always been able to go back to those tools, and if you can do that, you can at least fake people out for 5 minutes.
How much of what we see on Saturday Night Live is improvised?
Barely anything.
Really?
Mm-hmm. It's so tightly scripted because it's so tightly timed. Like, I don't know if you guys have ever watched where sometimes a scene will end and then, like, good nights. Like, you know,
right, yeah.
Things go, you'll be doing a scene sometimes and the stage manager will be like, you'll be in the middle of a scene and the stage manager will be going, 9, 8, and you just have to go, well, there we have it. I agree, and everythly resolved. As the show goes on, it collapses, so sketches get cut during the show. So it is very old. It is one of the still very old school, like, variety things where, like, you're dressed as, like, a slice of pizza, and you're like, you mean we're not doing the pizza sketch? There's a lot of that. And just people with pages, and you're, like, crossing out things, and you're like, we're never going to get this on time. So it's still very, like, my favorite year, if you guys ever saw that film, but it's still like that. There's nothing like it.
In a given week, you know, preparing for the show, what's the process? I mean, I think
a lot of procrastination. It really is. It is the most unique process I've ever. I imagine nothing would be the same, but it is. You know, there's like a saying that the show goes on because it's 11:30, not because it's ready, and that really is true. We're really never ready, which perhaps is evident, but charming? No. Try my best, guys. You pitch ideas on Monday, you write on Tuesday, you read through on Wednesday, you rehearse on Thursday and Friday. We do update on Friday because any joke before then is either done better somewhere else or stale. And then you do rehearsal, and then you do it. A lot of people are like, when did you tape that? And I was like, it's actually live, 11:30. Actually doing it while you're watching it.
Is there any subjects that you avoid, you know, to do Weekend Update or you know, certain political things, or you just?
No, I mean, I don't think we purposely avoid. Like, I think that I think you can pretty much tackle anything if it's funny. If it's not funny, then you're like, oh, I probably should have avoided that. But I try to avoid the not funny jokes.
I think it's a good rule. There you go.
And I have a 50-50. No, I mean, look, it is what it is, and that show is its own breathing animal, and it's been on, and it's a hour and a half live sketch comedy show. So the best thing you can say is it has its moments and it doesn't, and it's all about it trying to find a way that week to make it work. And in fact, even though there's not improv in it, it is very much like the same feeling of performing live, where it's very transient, it's very fleeting. So you kind of have these moments and then they're gone. And sometimes it's great that they're gone. And other times it's like, it's I don't know. I think that The Outsider said it best, and nothing gold can stay.
Wow. Now that was very nice.
Thank you.
Do you get back to Burlington a lot?
Yeah, quite a bit.
You hang up the mall?
Go up to Burlington Mall.
Yeah, check out.
But now it's wicked fancy up there.
Yeah. My kids always say too.
Yeah. Dad, I used to hang out a lot in the Burlington Mall. It was like a lot of my hangout things were like reservoirs and parks and malls.
Nice.
That's about it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Really fancy.
That tells us a lot.
Really
That's nice.
fancy. Yeah.
I met your family earlier. They were talking, and I've heard you say in interviews before that you think that some of this is sort of genetic, coming from the funny family.
Well, I think they would like to hear that.
Yeah.
Do you guys need to hear that today?
Are they going to believe it?
You need that?
Yeah.
Do you need that from me?
Yeah. That kind of thing. Yeah.
No, we have a very funny family, and I mean, I grew up. It was funny because when I went to BC, it was the first time I met the most people not from Boston, which was, I just kind of assumed that we would all have banana clips and
Right. Yeah. Spike
you guys
hair.
remember those?
Jeans.
This is actually where I lost my accent, or tried to, but Bostonians have a really good-natured sense of teasing, so you have to have a pretty good, you have to be able to take it on the chin. So we have a really great, funny family, and I'm nothing like them.
All right, excellent.
Especially today.
Just